You're watching KSL Sports Live.
What a week, what a weekend. Thanks for staying up with us. We have it all covered. The NHL is coming to Utah. The latest on that story, plus the final round of the Masters.
Yeah, we also continue our locals in the NFL draft previews with Stevenson Sylvester. He'll be in the studio, and we bring you the best from the Utes spring game. Cam Rising and Isaac Wilson stealing the show.
But let's get things started with the final day of the NBA regular season. The 50th season in Utah Jazz history will be a forgettable one. It came to a merciful conclusion Sunday in San Francisco.
Yeah, there was still something riding on this game, though. A Jazz loss would secure the 8th spot in the draft lottery. A win, and they would be tied with the Nets, which means the 8th and 9th spots would be determined by a coin flip.
Let's not mess around with that. Just lose the game, Jazz. No Steph Curry for the Warriors, giving chances for guys like Omer Yurtseven to take the stage. He's played well to end the season, a double-double, 11 points, 18 rebounds. Bryce Sensabaugh with another double-digit performance off the bench. He had 14 points. And Taylor Hendricks was outstanding, the steal and the dunk, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals and a block. And Keontae George should be all-rookie first or second team. He finishes his rookie year with 21 points and 4 assists. He was 5 of 6 from 3. This game went full G League in the second half. You never go full G League. Johnny Juzang with one of the best passes of the season to Lukas Šamanić. Jazz fall asleep on defense here, and Lester Canonis makes him pay. I wasn't kidding. These are G League guys. Kenny Lofton Jr. coming off his 28.9 rebound, 8 assist game against the Clippers. Hits a 3 for the Jazz and then flashes the Euro reverse. 7.6 assists for Kenny. And the Santa Cruz Warriors finish this off. Jerome Robinson with the nice and one. Jazz fall 123-116. As if we all care. They finished 31-51, just the 7th 50-loss season since moving to Utah in 1979. Jazz have now the 8th best odds of winning the NBA draft lottery, which takes place Sunday, May 12th. The next thing to circle on your calendar.
But if we're where we want to be, however you feel right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, we would like to be preparing to go play our best basketball of the season. You have to prepare your body in a way that you can endure not only an 82-game season, but endure 82 games and then be ready to play in the playoffs. And so I think right now they're probably all a little bit tired and feeling emotionally and mentally drained. And fortifying that part starts in the summer, and that's what they have to focus on most.
Well, once upon a time, the Jazz and Warriors this late in the year was pretty fun. Let's turn back the clock for this week's archive. 32 years ago yesterday, April 13th, 1992, John Stockton was doing his thing with 16 points, 14 assists, and 3 steals, but this was the mailman's game. Karl Malone dominated, 42 points, 12 rebounds. How about the exclamation point? Came with the left-handed hammer down the lane in the second half, and the Jazz won by 39. All right, for the first time in NBA history, 3 teams have identical records after 81 games and all have a chance to earn the number 1 seed in the West.
Pretty wild Sunday. The Thunder, Timberwolves, and Nuggets are those 3 teams. The Thunder have the upper hand, though.
All they needed was a win over Dallas, who were locked in at the 5, and resting starters. Thunder full power first quarter. That's Josh Giddey finding Jalen Williams for the slam. Then the MVP candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, gets the and one layup to go. The Thunder win by 49 points. They're the number 1 seed.
The Nuggets have to beat the Grizzlies for any shot at the number 2 seed. And, of course, didn't matter after the Thunder result, but they played well, really well. Jamal Murray had the early touch for the Nuggets, sinks a couple of first quarter threes. He finished with a team-high 21 points. Later in the half, Nikola Jokic puts it up for Aaron Gordon. Gordon had 15. Jokic 15 points, 15 rebounds, and the Nuggets win 126-111.
All right, so the Timberwolves could still get the 2 seed with a win. The Suns need a win to stay out of the play-in tournament, though. Bradley Beal was the answer today. Hits the 3 to put the Suns up 16. Then the shot clock running out. Devin Booker finding Beal for the deep 3. Beal finished with 36 points. Suns, they do clinch that spot in the playoffs.
The Pelicans can still clinch the 6th seed with a win. The Lakers need to win to secure the 8th seed. LeBron James would deliver. First quarter, he finds Anthony Davis for the alley-oop. LeBron going downhill. Hard to stop him. LeBron, the monster, triple-double, 28 points, 17 assists, and 11 boards as the Lakers cruise to a W. So after all that, here's how it finally shakes out. The Thunder are your number 1 seed. What a story that is. The Nuggets are 2. Timberwolves get the Suns in the first round. After the Suns clinch that 6th spot, The Clippers and Mavericks locked into that 4-5 playoff series, which is going to be awesome. Your play-in teams, the Pelicans dropped down to 7, and the Lakers, they'll both play again in New Orleans on Tuesday. Got to feel the Lakers' chances are pretty good. Winner gets the 7 seed. Loser plays the winner of the Warriors and Kings 9-10 winner for that 8th and final seed.
Okay, so in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics, they've had that top seed locked up for quite a while now. But seeds 2 through 4, still a tight race there. The Bucks, Knicks, and Cavs, all with a chance to land that number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference on Sunday. Knicks have to beat the Bulls for any chance at that number 2 seed. This one was tight. Fourth quarter, Jalen Brunson kisses it home and draws the foul. The Knicks have a 1-point lead. Then Brunson driving into a jumper to tie the game with a minute left. He finished with 40 points, and this game goes to overtime. In OT, Knicks down a point. Dante DiVincenzo for 3. The Knicks win it in overtime. Now they need a little bit of help.
If the Bucks beat the Magic, they get the 2 seed. If the Magic win, Orlando gets the top 6 seed, and the Knicks get the 2 seed. Third quarter, Paulo Banchero, the steal and the dunk. Magic up 8, and that lead grows. Franz Wagner gets the steal, and he's going to throw one down, and the Magic get it done. They clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2020.
Now, if the Pacers lose, they fall into the play-in, but a win against the Hawks gets them that 6th seed. Final seconds of the first quarter, Jalen Smith taps it in at the buzzer. Pacers with a 49-point first quarter. They would run away from there. Miles Turner with the hammer to go up 104-86. Pacers win in a blowout, 157-115.
Nothing on the line between the Celtics and Wizards, but it was an important game for Utah State legend Neemias Queta. He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 blocks in the Celtics win. According to the Celtics, he's the first player in NBA history with a 19-point, 9 rebound, and 6 block game in fewer than 24 minutes. He only played 19 minutes. Queta's on the Celtics playoff roster and has a legit shot at an NBA title.
All right, so this is how it all shakes down in the East. Your top 6 seeds that are in the playoffs, Celtics, Knicks, Bucks, and Cavs, are your top 4. They will have home court in the first round. The 5th-seeded Magic will take on the Cavs in round 1. And as the 6th seed, the Pacers will face the Bucks in the opening round. As for the Eastern Conference play-in, the winner between the Sixers and Heat will clinch that 7th seed. The loser will face the winner between the Bulls and Hawks for the 8th seed. Those games taking place on Wednesday.
All right, let's go to Augusta. It's Scottie Scheffler's world. Everyone else is living in it. That's how it feels right now on the PGA Tour. He's dominating everyone week in and week out, and he was in position once again Sunday to win the Masters. After that rough weather on Thursday, a completely different scene on Sunday. Perfect conditions for the final round at Augusta. Give credit to the field. They made it interesting on the front 9 Sunday. Ludwig Oberg with a birdie. Perfect bend. He, Morikawa, and Scheffler were tied when Scheffler plays the 9 hole. That is the hole that changed everything. This is awesome. He almost puts this approach shot in the cup. Incredible. He would birdie the hole and takes a lead and never looks back. Morikawa and other challengers would melt down under the pressure. Here's just a sample, finding the water. Not Scottie. His approach to the green on 14.
Beautiful line to start.
It was near perfect. We'll backstop and roll all the way near the cup. It would be another birdie for Scheffler. And we go to 16. Another birdie. He has a 4-shot lead going into 18. It's just a formality at that point. He pars 18 to win his 2nd Masters championship. He joins Tiger Woods as the only golfers ever to win the Masters when ranked number 1 in the world. He also becomes the 18th golfer to win multiple green jackets.
All right, in 1996, Mark Pope was the captain on a Kentucky Wildcats team that finished 34-2 and won the national championship. 9 players on that roster went on to the NBA, including Pope. So when he was introduced as the Wildcats' new head coach on Sunday in Lexington, no surprise, he received a welcome unlike any other in college hoops.
Mark Pope!
How's this for a welcome? Pope, led by his 1996 teammates, got off the team bus with their national championship trophy in front of a sold-out Rupp Arena, showing support for Kentucky's new head basketball coach. More than 20,000 fans in attendance. They even had to turn away another 5,000 fans. Remarkable. So, who will BYU turn to replace Mark Pope? The list isn't a big one, but at the top of that list right now is former Pope assistant Chris Burgess. He's been an assistant at Utah since 2022. Also, former Portland State head coach Barrett Peary. He's on that list. He's been an assistant at UNLV for the past 2 seasons. Houston assistant coach Casey Beard and Phoenix Suns assistant Kevin Young, also possible candidates for the Cougars.
Chris Burgess, definitely the favorite. All right, another BYU basketball player in the transfer portal. Richie Saunders joins Dallin Hall, and Ali Khalifa, the 6'5" wing from Riverton, announced his decision on Instagram, noting it is due to the uncertainty around the coaching situation at BYU.
Utah State head coach Jared Calhoun picked up a commitment in the transfer portal on Sunday. Dayton Albury, the all-conference guard from the ASUN, is coming to Logan. He averaged 17 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.7 assists in 32 games that he played for Queens University in Charlotte.
All right, we got to take a quick break. A Utah State quarterback is now in the transfer portal, or plans to be soon.
Yeah, and we have an exclusive with Utah women's basketball star Alyssa Peely as she gets ready for Monday's WNBA draft.
If you have a question on the game, I will love to answer.
The NHL is coming to Utah. We look back on how this story developed over the last several days and what step is next. Plus, Cam Rising throwing touchdown passes at Rice-Eccles Stadium. A look back at Utah's spring game.
When we need big plays from Jaquindon Jackson, where do we go? We get it right off of Keaton Bills.
Yeah, we'll continue to look ahead to the NFL draft with Sly. His analysis on Utah's Keaton Bills and BYU's Isaac Rex, and of course, that talk with Alyssa Peely before the WNBA draft is all coming up right after we catch our breath.
You're watching KSL Sports Live.
Back to work, Major League Baseball, the Nationals and the A's. Yeah, this was an interesting game. The bases loaded in the 6th, and Oakland's Abraham Toro with a blooper. Jesse Winker makes the diving attempt, but does not get the catch. He barely missed it, so close, and the A's take the 7-6 lead. 8th inning, the hit comes off the A's pitcher, Lucas Erceg's foot. He gets to it with a glove. The ball to the first. How did he do that? The A's come back from a 5-run deficit thanks to that play and others. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. The A's don't stink.
You know, I'm thinking of starting my own business. How hard can it be? Bzz. Can the bees bring in more honey against the aviators today?
Oh, that is so sweet, Sam.
Bottom of the 4th, bees down 3-0. That's Willie Calhoun with the web gem out and left, leaping catch at the wall. Bottom 8th, bees down 5-3. That's when Tyler Soderstrom ropes the opposite field homer. The Bees lose by a run, 7-6. My Arrested Development fans, I hope they appreciated that.
All right. The NHL is coming to Utah. I did, you can tell. An official announcement of the sale of the Arizona Coyotes franchise to Ryan and Ashley Smith is expected on Wednesday or Thursday. The coaches and players are also reportedly on their way to visit Utah on Thursday.
All right, so how did all of this unfold? How did we get to the point now where the Arizona Coyotes are being sold to Ryan Smith?
Here we go. Here's the timeline. The Coyotes arena situation has been a problem for years, and of course Ryan Smith has been very public about his desire to bring the NHL to Utah, officially requesting the NHL to initiate the expansion process back in January. Well, the news broke out of Phoenix on Thursday, April 4th, that Coyotes owner Alex Morello has sought potential buyers for the franchise. Then on Monday, Ryan Smith went to X, formerly known as Twitter, to ask Utahns what they wanted to name an NHL team.
I expect that the Coyotes will deny this and say that, you know, they're focused on Arizona. But there is no doubt, zero doubt, and you know this because you know the people I'm speaking with, that he has sought out potential buyers both in the state of Arizona and out of the state of Arizona.
Okay, so it was getting warm, but then things really started to heat up when the NHL released 2 versions of a schedule, one with the Coyotes playing next season in Arizona and one with them playing in Salt Lake City. President of the Professional Hockey Writers Association, Frank Saravalli, joined Hans and Scotty and confirmed reports that the framework was in place to sell the team to Ryan Smith and move to Utah.
It's increasingly likely with the things that I'm hearing that we could see something in as soon as the next 8 or 10 days. but buckle up. These are exciting times, and nothing like this makes it out unless it's pretty far down the track. People seem to be pretty optimistic. It's basically just about getting it to the finish line.
Esser's back into the game. It's 4-on-4, but he saw us hustling his own zone. Comes in and they score. Gunther Kuhn drops. Cooley jammed it home.
In the midst of all the rumors, the Coyotes were able to win at Vancouver. Then on Friday, Arizona GM Bill Armstrong flew to Edmonton to meet with the team and told them the team was being sold and moved to Utah. They won again in overtime despite all that drama, and head coach Andre Tourigny praised his team for their focus.
We won't make any comment other than on the game. So that's. If you have a question on the game, I would love to answer. Well, they had all the excuses to pack in and to just go with the flow, and they showed a lot of character. I cannot be more proud of them.
Ryan Smith has yet to publicly acknowledge the sale and relocation of the Coyotes, but he confirmed in a roundabout way on social media, replying to a fan's tweet saying that a Stadium Series game at the University of Utah could be in the future. He even tagged Utah President Taylor Randall in the post, who replied with this, a poll. Do the people want it? 1, yes, or 2, totally yes.
That's kind of a leading poll.
Sure is.
NHL hockey on Sunday. Great West battle between the Avalanche and Golden Knights. The Knights trailed 3-0 after 2 periods, but force overtime after William Karlsson scores his second goal to tie the game with 3 minutes remaining. On to overtime. Thomas Hertl on the power play finds the back of the net. That's your game winner. Vegas comes back to steal the win, 4-3.
The gold medal game in the Women's Hockey World Cup was today between the United States and Canada. No shortage of drama in this rivalry. Third period, less than 8 minutes to play. Game tied 4-4. Marie-Philippe Poulin gives Canada the 5-4 lead. Then with 5 minutes to go, the United States draw even. Caroline Harvey from one knee. And this game is headed to overtime. 5 minutes into OT, Canada on the power play, and that is the game winner. The U.S. takes silver. Canada gets the gold, 6-5.
Unexpected news tonight out of Logan. 24/7 Sports reporting that Utah State quarterback McKay Hillstead plans to enter the transfer portal this week. The former Skyridge High star started 4 games in 2023 for the Aggies and set a freshman record for passing in a game against James Madison, 399 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Well, spring has sprung, but now it's gone up on the hill. Utah spring football practices did come to a conclusion Saturday at Rice-Eccles Stadium with their spring scrimmage. And there was a lot for Utah fans to get pretty excited about, specifically at the quarterback position. Our first time seeing Cam Rising in action on a football field since his injury, and he looked pretty good. He had an early touchdown pass to Money Parks on a short throw. It was also good to see him and Brant Keithy connecting again. Keithy with 2 receptions for 25 yards in the scrimmage, back in uniform. And then Rising with another touchdown pass to Parks, this time a 57-yarder. Rising finished with 15 completions for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Feeling strong, like you said, yeah, just feeling good. Been accruing a lot of reps, and just it's good to be back out there with the guys, making some plays and watching them go, really, yeah.
Exactly what we hoped it would be. He was accurate, moved well in the pocket. You know, he had a good pocket presence to him, which he always does. Went through his progressions quick, got the ball out on time, and really couldn't have asked anything more than what he gave us today.
All right, our NFL draft previews continue here on KSL Sports Live, and to do that once again with us is Stevenson Sylvester, breaking down the footage, breaking down these athletes that have a chance to make it to the NFL. And right now we're going to focus on one of the great offensive linemen that's played at Utah over the past couple years, Keaton Bills. What made him such a great leader for this Utah team?
Well, he's a hunkered down, guaranteed mover, right? He moves guys from left to right, wherever you put him in. Outstanding guy, a leader on the offensive guy that you can rally around. And, of course, you can run behind this guy.
Yeah. And, you know, only in the NFL do they look at the arm length and you know, hand width for quarterbacks, stuff like that. But the measurements, they still tell a bit of a story. What do we learn from Keaton Bills here?
Keaton Bills is great. This is great size for interior alignment. They break the whole alignment up, right, from being able to be a guard, center guard, or tackles. There's different measurements. Keaton Keaton Bills is great. You don't want the middle of your defense having 6'9", 6'10 guys because you got short guys like Drew Brees can't pass over to 6'10 guys. So you want the guys a little short. Anyway, 6'4 is a great size. You'd be able to handle 321. Absolutely awesome. Arm length, I don't think is as important as an outside tackle. Right? Because you're going to D tackles are going to come in here. You don't need to have that extension. As if I was a left tackle, I would want to have extension on the D ends. So that's not as important. But what is another thing that a lot of people talk about is the 40-yard dash, the 3-cone, this and that. What does an interior lineman really have to run a good 40 for? Right. Not much, unless you're on an offense where you're just spread offense, screens, outside, which is not much. A lot of offenses nowadays that let me just move guys. One thing, when I look at Keaton Bills, if I was a linebacker, right, I assess my offensive lineman of who I'm going to go against. I look at him and I'm just like, I just can't get close to this guy. Right? He has a frame that he's going to hunker down, and you're just not going to move him. And when you put on the tape, it's exactly that. No defensive lineman, nor a linebacker, or blitzer can move this guy. Once he's getting down in his set, you're not going to move this guy, which makes him an outstanding offensive lineman.
Yeah, you talk about the tape because those numbers at the combine maybe don't show his athleticism, but this drive against Baylor really does.
8-minute drive, right? You're killing the clock in the fourth quarter. Offense isn't doing too hot until this drive. But look how many times he's at one-on-one, able to pick up blitzers one-on-one, and nobody's able to get him. He doesn't get holding calls because he moves his feet so well in the interior. He's your perfect offensive guard in the passing game. Here in the running game, which you're going to see this a lot, especially like with teams like the Philadelphia Eagles or even the Indianapolis Colts with Anthony Richardson. You're going to get these quarterbacks who can run, or, you know, you get a wildcat back there. Can he move his feet and get it done? And it's absolutely awesome. Keaton Bills does it time and time again on his film.
Speaking of time and time again, one thing we've seen time and time again over the past few years, they really relied on him when they needed big plays.
Yeah. Look, folks, if you remember, all of the big plays in the last 3 years, where did they happen? On the left side of the offense, right where Keaton Bills are. He's moving guys every single time out of the way. Keaton Bills here at left guard. Wherever you see the big play, this is at the loud USC game that everybody loves. Where did he go? Right off of Keaton Bills' butt right there. Absolutely awesome. Back in the Pac-12 championship game, when we need big plays from Jaquindon Jackson, where do we go? We get it right off of Keaton Bills right there. He gets it done. First level, second level. You don't need to run a 4.5 to get to the second level in the box. And that's exactly what he does. He does a great job of either moving the D tackle or getting up to the second level. Keaton Bills is an outstanding offensive interior guard.
And I think one great example of a big play, not only this, but a great example of the trust that Cam Rising had in his guard, Keaton Bills, came in that first Rose Bowl against Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, every time we did it, we were just like student body left. Everybody go to the left side of the offense. But what I really loved in Pro Day, what you're going to see, offensive lineman, can you move your feet while you're engaged? You're going to see that. This was a big play in this Ohio State game. But watch Keaton Bills right here. His guy's on the outside of the hash. This is 4th and 1. Big time. Got to move this guy. The outstanding D tackle moves him all the way to almost the middle of the field right there. And
Huge
look
hole.
at this cavity that Cam Rising has to go through. This is exactly what you work on in the pro days, what they want to see. They want to see, can you move these guys off the D? And D tackles, no. This is 4th and 1. I got to be stout in my gap. Keaton Bills does a great job of being able to move guys off of their spot. That's what you want to see from offensive linemen. That's what NFL and GM guys want to see from offensive linemen.
Okay, so the pro day numbers, combine numbers, maybe they don't pop that much. The tape pops, though.
Yes.
If you're a GM, where does Keaton get drafted, or does he get drafted?
For me, I would definitely pick him in the 5th or 6th round. You know, I think a team like New England, you know, they like things up there in the AFC East, and so he likes cold weather. And, New England, let's go to the AFC East. Keep him with the Bills. Keaton Bills on the Bills, it just makes sense.
It would be one of the most popular selling jerseys in Buffalo.
Yes.
Buffalo Bills jersey that says Bills on the back, of course, makes sense. Sly, great stuff.
Yes.
You'll be back again a little bit later on to talk about a BYU tight end, Isaac Rex. And what does make Rex an NFL prospect? What shows up on the tape and what he needs to work on? That's all coming up.
In here, there might potentially be some free chicken. Here's your job. Oh, he gave him chicken. He's a man of the people.
Yes, he is. Boban Marjanovic for the people intentionally misses his second free throw to give Clippers fans free chicken. Boban had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and about 19,000 assists in 12 minutes of play. our Any Hour Services play of the day.
First ballot Hall of Famer. He just clinched it tonight. The 2024 WNBA draft class may be the best ever. Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, and you can include Utah All-American Alyssa Peely in that group. She's expected to be a first-round pick in Monday's WNBA draft, 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. The highest player taken from the U ever was Shona Thorburn, 7th overall in 2006. Kim Smith was also taken in the first round of that 2006 draft, but no first-round picks since then. That'll end on Monday. For Peely, this isn't just a step in her basketball career, but a step in sports history. She told KSL Sports Utes insider Michelle Botkin that this draft class is capable of doing things never done before.
The difference with this class is, we have a chance to do something special in the sense of, making our mark as athletes, because everybody's incredibly talented, and, it's going to be fun to see at the next level, but also just having that media presence and platform that we do have in inspiring younger athletes and things like that. I think that's where it kind of makes it special, where we could do both at the same time.
You can see and read more with Alyssa on KSLSports.com. The return of a healthy Cam Rising has the Utes thinking Big 12 title and college football playoff. But as we learned last year, you better have a good backup plan in case of injury. That's why spring football has been so important for Utah. They want to know they have quality depth behind Cam just in case. Sophomore Brandon Rose and freshman Isaac Wilson have been battling in camp to win that backup job, and the battle will continue into fall camp. Wilson had a nice showing in the Forever 22 game, 8 of 12 passing, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Just keep accruing reps. The more reps that he can get, the better it's going to be. It's a hard system to learn right away, but he's done a great job making sure he's going through every check and every list of plays that we got. So it's been good for him, and I'm excited to see where he goes.
Really good today. He's a talented kid. Handled the stage, I guess you could say, very well. And he and Brandon will continue to battle into fall camp. But Isaac certainly took a big step forward today.
Well, Weber State also held their spring scrimmage Saturday up at Stewart Stadium. Weber ran offense with 3 of their quarterbacks Saturday. Creighton Cooper had the most explosive play for a quarterback on the keeper, scoring a long rushing touchdown in that scrimmage. But Weber's defense was stout. The big highlight for the D was when defensive lineman Jagger Childs picked off Cooper and ran it back for 6. Weber will be a pretty young team this year. They only bring back 7 seniors.
Exactly that. I saw a lot of guys hungry to earn their spot, earn their role on this team. From practice 1 to practice 15, I didn't think there was a drop off in effort and energy, and that's a hallmark of a good program. Obviously, we got to take that and enhance that this off season in the summertime, and then get ready for fall camp.
Utah State also had a scrimmage as part of this week's spring camp, a heavy dose of the run game for the offense. Devon Booth scored 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also caught a 20-yard score, while redshirt freshman running back Corbin Cottle added rushing scores. A lot of positives to take from scrimmage 2 for the Aggies.
As a whole, I feel like we've done a fairly good job. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we need to improve on, adjusting to new coaching and like how they want it to be done versus how you previously have done things. But, I feel like we're at a good spot right now, and I'm excited for what we're about to bring.
Relationships being built, and the communication is good, the energy level is good over there. You can see the way they're competing on the field. They just need time, but I've been pleased with how they've handled themselves.
We continue to preview our locals in the NFL draft. This week we're going to hit a BYU player, Isaac Rex, the tight end. 24 career touchdowns is a BYU record among BYU tight ends all time. And when you know how many tight ends they've had that are great, and guys that have gone on the NFL slide, that's a really impressive number.
Yeah, and for me, that's the quarterback's best friend is your tight end. I played with a good one in Heath Miller in Pittsburgh, and I know how valuable those tight ends are. And just to know that he is the all-time leader out of the list, plethora of tight ends that's came through BYU, says a lot about him, says a lot about his surefire, you can count on this guy on any play.
Yeah, it helped that he had Wilson and Hall's quarterbacks, but he certainly made a lot of plays. Let's take a look at the measurables. What stands out?
Well, one, great height, right? Great height, great weight. Those combinations are good. Big body. Safeties are too small. Linebackers probably are not tall enough. And so this is a great height for a tight end, exactly what you're looking for.
Although here's the problem. 40-yard dash, 4.94. The athleticism is not where you'd want it to be for an NFL tight end.
10 years ago, this would have been fine,
Yeah.
right? But you surefire tight ends, you can still put them down at the Y, and you can put him one-on-one because he has that. He understands NFL concepts, which is smart. He understands, like, I'm not the fastest. I can put my body position, i.e. in basketball, Luka Doncic, right?
Yeah.
You don't think Luka's going to blow by you, but you just can't stop him. That's what it looks like when you're watching Isaac Rex tape. You can put him one-on-one. You can get him in situations where he can definitely catch the football and get extra yards for you.
So he's a little bit of a throwback, but what he does well, Sly, as you've noted, is he's got great hands, and we've got proof.
Yeah, his hands are absolutely amazing. And they can count on this guy, right?
Yeah.
Just throw it in his area, he's going to make happens. He makes plays like this all throughout the year, and exactly what you want. And, you know, in Aaron Rodgers' offense, you'll be able to have a lot of misdirection where you're able to hide him in play action. You have everybody looking left, and then you throw back right. He does a lot of tight end throwbacks, which is an NFL concept. He understands that. He gets in a lot of one-on-one coverages down here where he's able to make that happen. He's bigger than the DBs. He's bigger than linebackers. He understands his size and speed, and he can use it to his advantage. Jason Witten wasn't blown by people, but I can guarantee you, we played against them. It was hard to stop this guy. Isaac Rex understands that.
Even though with that 40 time isn't what it is, we've got plenty of proof that he can make down-the-field plays, even though he doesn't have the size, and the 24 touchdowns go to prove that. But let's take a look at this right here where he shows that even though he's not a burner, he can get downfield and score.
Yeah, even in triple coverage, the big thing that you want to have for these guys is, look, if I throw the ball in your area, catch the ball.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. There, that was triple coverage. He makes it happen. He, of course, gets caught. But I'm trying to tell you, there's not a lot of people who's going to straight line speed beat you down the field. Defense has angles to make that happen. So you don't really need this guy to be blowing by people in the open field, but what you do need is those timely possessions, right? Can you count on him to make a big play when you need it, get down in the red zone, run these tight end seams on linebackers, on safeties, get into the end zone, which you know he knows how to do.
Okay, so all of that said, where is he on this draft? I mean, it's going to be tough because he did not go to the combine. We know what that can mean. He did go to pro day. Where do you see his stock, and where is his chances?
Well, here's the thing. I think Isaac Rex is a person where you just have to put on the tape, and you have to give this guy an opportunity, right? I don't think he's going to get drafted high. I think it's either a 7th round or undrafted free agent, which we've seen in the past. That could be a good thing,
yeah,
right?
That's totally fine.
Let me choose where I want to go. Let me choose a type of offense where I can excel and show my skills of what I know I can do. I know my body. I know how to get open, and I know that tight ends are the newest thing. So I think that he'll go 7th round or undrafted in this draft, but he'll have plenty of opportunity to go to a team like the Cleveland Browns who use their tight end, right? And Joku over there is doing a tremendous job. That's a style of offense that works for him, right? But there's tons of teams out there that I think could utilize Isaac Rex because tight ends are something that's extremely versatile. Use them in the run game, play action game, deep pass game. He's a big body, sure-handed guy, and I think once he gets an opportunity, he's going to make a team happy.
He's got NFL hands.
Yes.
And he's got NFL size.
Yes.
And you put him in a camp next year, drafted or undrafted, he's got a great chance. Sly, thanks.
All right, great stuff, guys. Let's go back to the big leagues now. Yankees visiting the Guardians. All rise for the Judge. Aaron Judge hits the 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, but this game would actually go to extra innings. Guardians down a run. Hard grounder. Gleyber Torres can't field it cleanly, so that ties the game up. Up comes Andres Jimenez. Hits one deep enough to right field to bring in the winner on a sac fly. Guardians walk off the Yankees in Cleveland.
In the air to right, toward that big wall, and over it. It's a line drive, grand slam for Sawinski.
Pirates' Jack Sawinski with a 4-run jack. Pittsburgh, the best record in the National League. I didn't stutter. Is that real?
Raise the Jolly Roger.
All right, wild finish in NASCAR featuring the most popular driver in the sport is next. Boogity NASCAR at Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth for the Auto Trader Echo Park 400. A wild finish after a restart. More drama on the final lap. Ross Chastain gets spun into the wall by William Byron. That allows Chase Elliott to win it in overtime, ending his 42-race winless streak.
Outstanding. You know, there's a lot happening this week. The Arizona Coyotes are playing their final game of the season on Wednesday. We could know by that night the official announcement if they're coming
already
here.
know now.
I know, but
we already know now. Bring them in. These guys
we're ready. Get the ice.
Get the Zamboni.